Hello there and welcome back to another video, and it is a big game for Liverpool this weekend. We're going to be coming up against Manchester City as well. Sunday the 3rd of October, a 4:30 kickoff UK time anyway, and it is going to be a huge game for both teams. Both teams are pretty well. We're behind. We're next to each other. We are top of the league on 14 points. Manchester City and Chelsea, Man United, Everton and Brighton are all on 13 points. So major shiftings could happen this weekend in the Premier League. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are ahead of the game this weekend. Who do you think is going to start for Liverpool? Because for me, I don't think there's going to be many changes. And what do you think the result could be as well? Feel free to let me know it in the comments below. For me, the team lineup for Liverpool doesn't change much, possibly apart from a forward position. Now, I think we're going to be going with Alisson in goal, James Milner at right back. I think he's going to continue his role there at right back. Joel Matip will come in at centre back along with Van Dijk and Andy Robertson on the left hand side as well. When we move into the midfield, again, I don't think there's really going to be any changes from the Champions League game, or at least not many. I think we're going to have Henderson and Fabinho, and the only other difference that we could have possibly is, does Naby Keita possibly play or something like that, or maybe does someone else come in to that midfield? But for me, purely based on his performance as well, and how well he's actually doing at the moment, it's Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones alongside Fabinho and Jordan Henderson. I think that makes it a good midfield to combat what you're going to get from Manchester City. And then into the front line, this is where I would make my only change, which would be Mohamed Salah, right hand side, Sadio Mane on the left hand side, and then through the middle, I think we might revert back to having Bobby Firmino in there as well. Jota, he's always active, he's always working hard and always working intensely, but at the moment in front of goal, it's just not happening for him right now at this second. Doesn't mean he won't be able to contribute at some point in the season like he does anyway, but just in my opinion anyway, I think it's going to be Firmino coming into this game, which could also play a part in helping to, combat Manchester City's defence and their intensity by having someone like Firmino that can drop in deep, sort of take the pressure off a little bit and find some obscure passes or obscure lines of passing anyway that he can sometimes find that no one else can, and link up the forwards with the midfield effectively as well. And I think Curtis Jones will help do that as well. So, in terms of our last games, obviously our last games were in the Champions League. We won 5-1 against Porto, and PSG beat Manchester City 2-0 with a Lionel Messi absolutely just classic goal in there as well. But I think aside from that, in the league, they played against Chelsea and beat Chelsea pretty comfortably. They seemed to sit off Man City, and I think it was a 1-0 victory for Man City. We obviously played that frenetic game against Brentford, which was 3-3, which still proved that we can obviously score a lot of goals, create a lot of chances, but also showed that sometimes we can be defensively lapsing or defensively just a little bit frail at times as well. Hopefully we can avoid that against Man City, because what we'll get coming at us, regardless of the fact that Man City don't always have an out-and-out striker. In fact, they don't really seem to play. They seem to change who plays that number 9 or a false 9, as they are sometimes called, unless it's Jesus playing. But sometimes you're going to play these guys on the wing. You see Jesus taking up a wider position sometimes as well. You've got the options of Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, who could play on the left-hand side, or you've got Jack Grealish out there as well. They've got a lot of options in there, and then they've obviously got a very good midfield to choose from, with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, as just a couple that you could mention that would come into their midfield, and they'll be looking for a performance after the Champions League as well. They'll be looking for a reaction from their players, and they could get it. It is good for us that this is at home, but also we've not always done the best against Man City in recent times, and we will want a reaction as well as trying to put, or at least keep ourselves like at the top of the heap for as long as we can. And we're going to be coming up against a really difficult Man City team that are obviously a really well drilled team. Tactically, they can be a very frenetic team. They can be really difficult to contain and also take the possession off them. We sometimes are one of the only teams that can either match or maybe have a bit more possession of the football than Man City. but they can also do the same to other teams as well. So what do I think we can do, or what do I think we will do in this game? It's, for me, it's going to be really end to end. I think that we will start the quicker. I hope we do. I hope we start a lot quicker than we did against Brentford as well, where we just, attacking wise we got going, but from the midfield and the defence just didn't seem to get going enough. Hopefully, what Jurgen Klopp has said about the midweek game against Porto, where we were out there on the pitch correcting mistakes and such like that, that we did in the Brentford game, we've sort of sorted those out on the pitch against Porto. And I really do, fingers crossed, hope that that is the case. I really hope that that is the case. But there were concerns as well in the FC Porto game, none other than the goal that they actually scored as well. So it finished 5-1. But the goal they scored was from an early cross, a really mid-range whipped cross. And the player got in front of one of the defenders. It could have been Van Dijk, it could have been Joe Gomez. I can't actually remember which one it was, but managed to get in front of them and put the ball in the back of the net past Alisson as well. And, there's just things with that goal that reminded me of the fact that who likes to get the ball out wide the most in the league and likes to whip the balls in as well and have players that can give them exceptional delivery. Not just, Kevin De Bruyne. You've got likes of Riyad Mahrez that can do it. Sterling can do it as well. Jack Grealish can do it. Phil Foden can do it. They've got a lot of players that can give them a lot. Bernardo Silva is another one. They've got players that can get them quick, effective delivery into the box from out wide, and they can do it quickly as well. Get a lot of linked passes together. Whether they want to call it a tiki-taka football style or what, that's up to you guys. But that is one thing that does concern me and where they could really damage us, especially with them not having an out-and-out striker, a proper number 9, someone that could have replaced Sergio Aguero. They still carry a threat. There's a reason why they're still second in the league, tied with about 5 or 6 other teams. They are still in the mix, and they are very much not out of this title race at all. They're very much in it, and we will be up against it with these guys. Every single one of our players needs to be on the ball 100% at all times. They really, really do. This means defence needs to be organised, which is great for having Van Dijk and with Matip as well. We've got some fluidity there. The only concern for most people, I imagine, will be James Milner at right back. Now, he proved against Porto he still does have the legs to perform that role, but you're going to miss a little bit that we don't get. Well, you're going to miss a lot that we don't get from Trent as well. We don't know when Trent's going to be coming back yet either. Probably after the international break. But yeah, he's going to be good defensively, positionally back there. He will be good. But then it's what are we missing out on in terms of moving forward as well? That could be one side that we do look a little bit not lackluster, that we will be lacking in over having Trent there. Aside from that, for me, the team that I've talked about, or any team that you put out against Man City, is enough to be competitive against Manchester City, and it also is enough to win this game. It really, really is. Which is why I'm going for a draw. Because you got two teams that are going to go at it, going to really attack each other. They're really going to go for it. And I think it could just end up as a bit of a stalemate. Now, I normally would predict things like wins and stuff like that as well, but I have just got a feeling in here it's going to end up a draw. A score draw, but I don't think that it's going to be one where we come out on top of. I think it will be one that we come out and we'll maybe draw it. Some people might look at that and say it's negative, and it could be a negative, but as long as it's not a loss, it's still some way moving forward with the pack at the top of the league. I want us to win this game. I really do, and I actually do believe that we can, but in trying to be realistic and looking at the situations, we've had a very positive week. Manchester City have had a bit of a negative week, of midweek anyway, in the Champions League and such like that. They'll be wanting a reaction. We'll be wanting a reaction to maybe being beat by them last season or whatever. And hopefully we will get that reaction. But I think you're going to get two quality teams that are possibly going to stalemate each other and not be able to find a winner in this game. That is just my thoughts on this game anyway. Let me know what you think of this game coming up on Sunday. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. But hey, I think we're all looking forward to it, but also possibly just a little bit nervous as well, which is totally, totally fine. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you later.